thanks Harrier Trail Running for sponsoring this week's interview. Harrier Trail Running is a UK-based trail running brand focused on creating quality, functional and affordable gear for people who love running off-road. From beginners to ultra-distance runners, their range includes race vests, hydration packs, poles, waterproofs and other gear designed specifically for use on the trails and in changeable outdoor conditions. We love the company here at TN Trails as they truly emphasise inclusivity and community, helping runners of all levels feel welcome and confident to explore the trails. I used the new jacket, the Exmo 2.5 layer waterproof jacket the other day. It wasn't raining. I just thought I want to test it out.
You couldn't help yourself, could you dirty rat? What colour's yours?
It's the same as my cap. So I'm a bit kind of full kit.
Teal. Oh, I would probably maybe swap the cap out for your Elite Trail Team cap.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So you've got like a teal blue colour cap, colour jacket, and mine is like, Kate is going to tell me off when I describe this colour. It's a dusky pink. We've been looking at new paint for our kitchen, and the colours of those and aims of those paints, I don't know whose job it is, but I want it. Blushing Primrose. Shy Apricot.
Shy Apricot.
So I would call her, it's not a pink, it's a sort of damson.
A fruity damson.
Fruity damson. The shape of it I like. I like a high collar.
Yeah.
Because it somehow feels like a bit of a safety net, a high collar and a hood, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like a nice big hood because I want it covering everything that's going on underneath and to shut out the fact that the weather is horrendous. I'd be really interested to know what it's like in a really good Scottish downpour. But
that's
do you know
that's
what?
the test.
I'm not rushing. Sorry, Harrier, because the weather at the moment, though it's freezing, it's dry. What a dream. What a dream.
But my initial takeaway is it's a better fit than the previous version. I deliberately went for the small in the men's because when it's super cold and you want to put like an insulated jacket underneath, normally my default is to go for everything as pretty skin tight as possible. So I thought I'd give myself a little.
You don't spend that huge membership at one gym to not just...
Exactly. It would be a crime.
To let people enjoy. It would be a crime.
I think people can tell when they're watching this Zoom.
They can see there's a
gym.
middle-aged woman where everything's south of the Zoom and a perky young lad.
Anyway, this jacket weighs in at just 236 grams and it's going to set you back $94.99 over at harrierrunfree.co.uk.
What a treat, a festive treat. I think we should say a big thank you to Trish for giving up the Twixmas time, which is very precious between Christmas and New Year, to tell us about her Dragon's Back winter FKT story. Full disclaimer, we tried to catch up before Christmas. We missed each other on a couple of calls, so I don't know the story. So this is fresh. I was party to a select WhatsApp crew where I got probably hourly updates on some hilarious crewing, some great crewing, some hilarious crewing. But also it was really nice because I could see Trisha's dot, but also I could see behind the dot. So I was like, she's moving really well. She needs, can people call her? Her feet are really hurting. Just like what I say, we need open tracking to add like the emojis to the tracker, or just the ability as well for the tracker now. I've added a new thing, is for the tracker to say open to calls, and you can put your WhatsApp number up and people can just call you. I'll send you WhatsApp messages, voice notes saying, you are sensational. So I sent Trish loads of messages and tried to call her loads of time and over WhatsApp, never thinking she's got her data turned off. And when she finished, she was like, mate, I didn't get any of that. Anyway, she's been our hero at Tea and Trails Towers for a very long time, years and years and years. And I know she's inspired a lot of you because she has such wise words. But boy, oh boy, did we see those wise words come into actions when she set herself this challenge of a winter Dragon's Back FKT. She set it, quietly went about training for it. And here is her story on the adventure that unfolded. And I won't spoil it, but I will tell you it was definitely one of the toughest things. And she's done some tough stuff she's ever done. Here is our chat with Trish.
If I had to list my top 10 podcast moments, I think meeting Trish Patterson has got to be on there.
Oh, I love that.
How are you feeling? How's Christmas recovery for you? Because on paper, I would think you do this big event. I'd visualize it like awesome, I'll finish, then put my feet up for 2 weeks. But you're a busy mum of two.
That's pretty much it. I mean, my main aim after this, like when people are like, what are you going to do next? I'm like, get fat. I'm going to get fat.
You can't though. How do you fill those legs? There's an impossibility.
I lost just under 3 kilos. So, and I'm like half a kilo down. So I feel I've done well. I'm pretty much back to normal now, I would say. Like, I feel like I've got my energy return and I've literally just been non-stop eating. I mean, the other day I reheated turkey twice and I wasn't so good, if you know what I mean. But I continued to eat through that. And Kate was like, just stop eating. Just stop eating. I was like, no, I can't. I'm going to be fine.
I had to Google it. I ate some turkey yesterday and I think I might have been pushing it as far as food safety is concerned.
I've been through worse. It can't be worse. Then I mean, it can't be that bad, can it?
What's your favourite Christmas treat? We're smashing heroes in the Thwaites.
You know what? Like at Christmas time, I'd say the rest of the year, I really barely drink at all. Like I don't drink at all. But come Christmas, like I'm all over a glass of Baileys.
Are you? Dawn till dusk. How many a day are you looking at?
I mean, I might have had some hot chocolate this afternoon. I'm like, I'll probably have some after this. I just love a little glass of Bailey. I mean, I say little. It's not little because I'm like,
pint.
No, but a pint of Bailey. It's cream, right? I mean, I need the calories, guys.
It makes me feel a bit sick.
I wonder what the carb is in Baileys. If you told Gary there's loads of carbs, he'd be on it. He'd be like, I could try that in my soft flask.
Basically a recovery drink, isn't it? I think
it's milk based. I reckon it's got way
100% recovery drink.
I think Bailey's for me, it's one of those drinks where I probably got steaming drunk on it once and I just can't face it. Like Thunderbird, I can't even touch Thunderbird anymore.
My goodness. Do you remember Archers?
What's that stuff that smelled like cinnamon? Aftershock. Do you remember that?
Oh, goodness me, yeah.
So vile. So vile.
How did we do it? We were all incredible.
I mean, I was hardcore when I was in my 20s. I was amazing fun out on the lash. But just the thought of it now makes me feel a bit sick inside.
Did you used to have pre-warm up before you went out? We'd had like a bottle of Lambrusco or something before. Save the money. We'd just drink a bottle of wine.
Straight to spirits. Can you imagine? I'm amazed I can do any of the stuff I do.
It was all good stomach training.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's all good gut training, isn't it? I feel
so your Christmas wasn't wiped out. The energy was there. It was just fed. You weren't like,
to be honest, like all I did on Christmas Day was eat and like literally dip in and out of consciousness. I'd sit down like my dad. I'd be sat next to my dad who's like 91 years old, and like I'd be like, my dad's And I like my family were just like,
did they like that version of you? Were they like, this version is a lot quieter, calmer?
Quieter, yeah. I mean, it's difficult there because we've got the kids, the dog. I've got my
how's the dog faced? How's dog? Because you're number one, like dog walker, entertainer.
He's had the chop. Yeah, 2 days after I got back, he got the chop. So like me and him were on the sofa, like, they're so bad. They're so sad.
Did you have to do the pantos and everything? I don't know if your girls are into that.
So they did all that before I left. I did miss, unfortunately, one of their, like, they had this like rock band thing because they play guitar.
There's no unfortunate in that sentence.
We'll
just take it.
Yeah, it's just the way it kind of fell over Christmas. I missed a couple of like bits, but it's just always the way. It's so busy in the build up to Christmas.
There's nothing you can do. Yeah,
there's so much pressure to do everything and like I felt like just in the build up to the FKT, the worst part was like the week before was just trying to prep for work, prep for Christmas, make sure like the kids had everything, because they're doing swim this and Secret Santa that and this club that, and it's just mental. I'm like, just calm down, everyone.
God, it seems like such a long time ago now, but was it you were in Australia this time last year?
Yeah, I know, eh? How cool is that? I know. And what's crazy is obviously I did the FKT, and I kind of figured I'd need at least maybe a month to 2 months, and I genuinely feel really, really good. Like I've got no long-term injuries. I got absolutely battered and there's bruises and scrapes all over me from falling over like countless times. But in terms of like long-term injury, so much different. I was saying to like a couple of mates today, actually, comparatively to when I did Dragon's Back, it just goes to show the difference of running with an injury it has on you, like the impact it has on your central nervous system in particular, I think, in terms of that trying to push on with an injury. I didn't have any injury. I was just exhausted. When I ran Dragon's Back, I obviously had that injury, which just...
Well, your two big things, apart from your three peaks, like the spine and Dragon's Back, like you did both of those with a pretty significant injury as well.
Big injuries, yeah.
Was that Three Peaks? That's an FKT as well, isn't it?
So a girl's got it now. She did it in 6 days, but fully supported. But it wasn't. So when we did it, it was a bit kind of like ad hoc, where like we were staying in like
toilets.
I remember the toilets. I remember
and there was no support.
What number's that episode, Gary? It's hilarious.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It is. Well, you've been on a few times, Trish. Episode 40 and 73, and some Run to the Hills too. So I'm not too sure exactly.
We were like
which
washing our pants in the sink and stuff, and I feel like what's her name? Imi, I think her name's Imi or something like that, who's got the FKT at the moment. It wasn't the same kind of gig.
I think that's when I knew I loved you, when we got you on the podcast and we talked about scrubbing the gusset together, and we were like, just would you scrub it? I've got no getting those stains out, Eddie. I just turn it round.
Turn around.
Do we need to do the admin?
We don't do that. I said to Gary, we don't need to write a script, Gary. We'll just talk. And he's like, you two need some sort of, he was like, you two need some guidelines.
Needs framework.
No, that's not fair. It's a reflection on me, Trish. I'm pretty uptight about. I need some kind of,
I think you should read the intro because it's lovely and it's nice for Trish because she sings everybody's praises and she's everybody's biggest cheerleader. And so this is all about being Trish's biggest cheerleader. And I think this is a lovely intro.
Every so often, someone comes along who doesn't just take on a challenge. They redefine what's possible. Today's guest is exactly that. Trish Patterson is a force of nature, a runner with grit in her bones, fire in her stride, and a story that climbs higher than the ridgelines she loves. Whether she's chasing FKTs, tackling brutal mountain routes, or simply showing what's possible when determination meets heart, Trish brings an energy that lifts everyone around her. In this episode, we dive into the mindset behind her biggest adventures, the moments that shaped her, and the resilience that keep her pushing forward when the terrain gets rough and the doubts get loud. Trish doesn't just run, she inspires, she challenges, and she reminds us why we fall in love with the mountains in the first place. So settle in, lace up if you're listening on the move, and get ready for a conversation full of honesty, humour, and serious mountain magic. This is Trish, Breathe and Believe, Patterson.
Oh, mate. Oh, that was amazing. Yeah, check you out. That was awesome.
You cut that, you play it to the kids on repeat every morning. Listen.
You suck. Why is it my breakfast today? Why do I have to empty the dishwasher? You're just bossing me around all the time.
Leave me alone.
Why?
I suppose the first question from me, because I shared some of those trails with you in 2023, because I don't want to put words in your mouth, Trish, but I think it's fair to say you didn't have the week you hoped for back in Wales in 2023. So why this challenge?
I didn't have a good race. I had a couple of things that just were out of my control, and the thing is with the Dragon's Back, like once something goes wrong, there's no regain from it because you just don't have the time. There's no time for that regain or recovery. So I kind of persevered with the race and got through the race. I trained to a better standard, I thought, than I'd raced. So I didn't feel like I'd done, I felt like I'd done myself proud in terms of what I was capable of, but I didn't feel like I'd got that, run to that level where I was like that gritty running where you're running, the race that you want, really. I actually came up the idea of the Winter Dragon on the race when I was running it, and I remember I was coming over the Brecons, and I was really struggling with my feet, and I remember thinking, well, it's hard, but like, how hard is it really? Like, what would be harder? And I thought, imagine doing this in winter. That would be hard. That'd be really hard. And then that kind of stuck. It kind of stuck from there, and obviously Shane did his FKT, and and Bridget, like I knew I was going to do it. I knew it was going to be on the cards. It was just a question of how I did it, whether or not it was going to be unsupported or supported in some form.
Don't think that thought, like when you're next doing the spine. How hard can this be? How can I make this harder?
I was thinking that thought actually when I was doing the 7 valleys this year. I was thinking, kind of, thank goodness I'm not doing the 13 valleys. That could be. But I'd love to, yeah, I know. Yeah. I know about the route, but maybe some of our listeners, we talk about the Dragon's Back race pretty much every week on this podcast. But yeah, share some deets about the route. The numbers are eye-watering.
The actual route is down as, I think it's down as 230 odd miles, maybe 230-ish miles, and ascent-wise, maybe 16,500. I think those are like the official stats. I got 250 miles and 20,000 meters of elevation.
So how did you get that?
Because it wasn't hard enough, guys. Some of those were navigational errors, like day 4.
Oh, you went straight up a hill. I was like,
yeah, let's go. I was like, no, go back down.
When did the penny drop? Because, yeah, you're pretty intimate with that route. So did you just kind of think, I know this is wrong, but I'm going to keep going?
If I'm totally honest, I had the wrong GPX loaded. Yeah, and then I got to the top and I got a call from the guys, and Shane was like, "You've gone on the old route," and I was like, "Yeah." It's like the FKT route goes the other way, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." Although to be fair, I was more consumed at the time by the fact that I'd basically just left the guys at that farm bit. There's a car park there, and I'd basically just smashed like 20 sausages that Zoe and Jan had got me, and I had the worst stomach cramp. Like I was literally about to, like, I was all consumed with trying to keep my insides in. So I was like, it's like I've got multiple things going on here, guys. So I had to kind of I'm
gonna need to put you on speaker.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun. But anyway, yeah, I got some extra vert there. Some of it was diversions. I had to do some diversions. I think some of it probably was GPS mismatch. Like sometimes the GPS just goes a bit funny. You end up having to do a lot more ground in winter, just because of the fact that it's so, like the ground is so much harder. It's so much harder, and you can't, like, the lines, and a lot of the time in the dark, you're confined to this, like, just this little, 1-2 meter bubble of light. And especially, like, I didn't have any clear skies. I had clag every single night, and it was just, navigating was just a beast. It was really intense. You'll know, Gary, when you do Dragon's Back, you rely so much on being able to see the trod and to see where the line is. There's none of that in the dark. There's none of that in the clag. You have to, like, your navigation has to be absolutely, like, nailed. And particularly, like, when you go over, day 2 route, like the Rinogs and stuff like that, if you go off to a trod like a meter to the right,
it's crazy. Yeah,
you can be on the opposite side of a rocky outcrop, actually just fall off the edge. So like it's really, the nav is really quite intense. You end up covering a bit more ground, I think, just because of that.
I found that in the lakes, and the lakes trails are a lot more forgiving than Dragon's Back trails. Like you say, you could, especially at night, because say maybe your head torch casts a funny shadow on something.
Yeah, totally.
And the trail that you want is literally 3 feet away, but the trod that you're on is, Is this a first known time? I'm just trying to pick the pieces together.
As far as we are aware, no one's done it in winter. So it's the first time. Yeah, first time. First time someone's done it in winter.
And what's the rules for a is it a solo and supported? What's that? How does that style have to happen?
So it's styled as a solo supported. I did it the same way that Bridget did hers. She did a summer version, absolutely smashed it, amazing. So you're on the hill on your own, and you have access to you have vehicle access. So when if you hit a road, the vehicle is allowed to be there at that road. You can get your food and change your kit, etc. But when you're on the hill on your own, and you're not taking anything off anyone. You're carrying the kit you need to get to the next vehicle stop, basically.
Did you ever think of like taking Shane's hand or Robin's hand, just going, let's just get rid of this and unsupported on the hill and just come with me?
Get back out there.
Were they? Yeah.
No, to be fair, I think we were all just very like, I mean, I'm very task focused anyway. And actually, it all just worked very well. I'd say it worked out very well. Like, they'll be listening to this and they'll be like, oh, this is awkward because she's going to talk about the bad bits now.
No.
Yeah, Robin and Shane are like sweating right now.
We are going down. Once we did have to. Anyway, carry on.
I think the key thing is just we all knew what we needed to do, and it really was a full team effort. It was a full team effort, and I actually, when I was out on the hill, it just felt like I was just doing my job in the team.
Yeah.
That's my job. And I've got to do that job, do it well.
If I've done it well, they're going to cheer me and I'm really happy. And if I'm really sad, they're still going to cheer me.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was really exhausted, so especially the last morning. I was rough the last morning. I think we all still managed to laugh, and have a laugh, like whilst we were
I think if you're not laughing, Trish, then it's pretty much the end of the. Yeah. If you can't find humour in whatever is happening, or just a little lift of the lips, then there's nothing left. What did you have a goal or time in mind? Had you set out, like, because once you add in the element of crew, you've got to have some sort of time, because people are going to know how much time they're going to take off work and stuff. Did you have, like, what was your dream? How did you go about planning that?
I was aiming to try and get to Shane's time, which was like 102.5 hours, something like that. 102.5 hours, I think.
This was a big goal to set, because Shane over that terrain is especially day 1 and day 2 is, I would say, like one of the best in the country at moving over that terrain. Yeah. Add in, Trish, the dark and the cold and the fact you were by yourself. What gave you the audacity to think, I think I can match? I love it. But what gave you that confidence that you thought, I know, I can match him?
100% over 100 miles. I'm nowhere near as fast. If we look in terms of comparably, so, Shane did it's like the Arc, for example, both races that we've both run. Shane ran the Arc in under 24 hours, and he is capable of running it faster than that. He is super fit. He's super, super capable. And I ran the Arc. My best time in the Arc is, 25 and a bit hours, something like that. So like Shane 100% is much, much faster than me. But I think the difference being on a big effort like that is a strategy and consistency of pacing. But also, because I'm slower, I'm comfortable moving slowly. And I think for people who are faster runners, they find moving slowly over that terrain quite frustrating. And I do think that's a big factor in like mindset and how you're able to kind of approach stuff. I'm much slower, and therefore like my race pace is like Shane's,
Well, we see it every year in the Spine, don't we? We see it every year in the Spine.
Yeah,
it's the guys that have got the VO2 and they've got a great 20-30 miles in them.
Yeah.
It's they can't hold themselves back. And Shane won't mind us saying that as well, is that he busted a gut on the first. And you knew that as well. I guess you knew the story of how he'd done it as well.
And there's a lot of stuff that Shane was the first person to do that, and it's so much harder being the first person because you try, and everyone learns things subsequently. I hope someone does the winter FKT and beats my time and is able to learn from all the stuff that mistakes I made, which are many, and get a faster time. So it's not really about the time. The FKT is cool. If I'm totally honest, I didn't think in the back of in my head I was aiming for Shane's time, but I knew it was a real big push, but I was okay with that because I wanted it to kind of really pull me, to really kind of challenge me and really pull me forward. So I didn't take anything. I think about what was my final time, 107 hours and something. The time's cool, but actually it was, for me, Shane and Bridget's time was just a pull, a really big, for me, just a pull, the competition to kind of keep me focused, keep me online. But whilst I was in it, I wasn't I need to hit this in order to I was just pushing to what I was capable of on each leg. And I think that's really important as well, that you're not too consumed by time to maintain the consistency of effort.
You did it brilliantly. Tell me a little bit about your training for this, Trish, because how on earth do you train for something? Basically, you're in the dark. No, what did Lucy call you?
I can't remember this. What did she call?
She kept going, you're on such a lovely, happy hiking holiday.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, Trish won't take offense to that, but she's trying hard here.
Speedy walker.
Speedy walker, that's it. Yeah. Here comes the speedy walker. How did you train for this? Because pretty much the whole of, how long did you give yourself, before I put words in your mouth, how long did you give yourself to train for this?
I started training properly again I think from the February. By the summer, I was running pretty well. We did a lot of stuff in the summer, probably a decent 8 months of training, I would say, in kind of preparation. I did like a backyard ultra as a kind of build up to kind of get back into kind of like racing and stuff. That was just more of a kind of thing to test the knee. So, and when did I do that? I think that was probably late spring or June or something. It was mostly about making sure my knee was stable enough to do what I knew was going to be a massive effort. And it was going to take not just like physically in terms of being like fit, actual like, being able to run it like good at threshold and like raise my VO2 and like muscle fatigue resistance and stuff, but I knew I really needed that base, which I'm good at. Like I've got a very good base and I'm able to recover quickly, so I needed to kind of get that back up. But fundamentally it was all the stuff that you would do for, I would say, 100-miler, but a good focus on base.
How much more can you train when you're like 100-miler, the long runs, the back-to-backs or whatever it is? I do wonder how much more anyone can realistically do, even like a full-time athlete, because if you do a massive day, that fatigue then carries into the following week.
Yeah, and I do think people overthink it. Like I do genuinely think for the vast majority of long distance efforts, it's just like training for a 100-miler. Anything more, it's going to break you. There are some elements of specificity, like the Dragons has a huge amount of elevation. So, you do need to incorporate that elevation. If I was going to do something like the Three Peaks again, I wouldn't be focused on that elevation. I'd be focused on road, for example. What I think was really key was being able to do lots of big days with friends, doing, a good mix of speedy walking and running and all of that stuff. That's a really good base for this kind of activity. Again, going back and doing those recce's, being in the mountains, that's really important. You can't take away how important, though, being on that terrain is.
You had a bit of a spanner in the works about a month. No, it was a bit longer. Was about 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks before you went over on your ankle.
Yeah. So I went up with Zoe Murphy, and we did. It was in October actually, because it was just after the birthday, and we did all of day one, and then the next day we were going to do basically like half day two. I basically sprained my ankle really badly. So this was end of October, and then I was going to start obviously the FKT in December, and that was right over my peak period, my peak build, so I couldn't do any of my peak training at all really. I just had to focus on rehab for the best part of like 3 weeks, and that was really tough. I think that was the hardest bit, because there's so many elements that you can't control or change there, and you really do just have to accept and say, well, look, I'm not going to get this extra training in, but what I've done is enough to get me through. I really do think that actually the vast majority of the time for a big effort like this, it is much more mental. Like the body will perform if you force it to. But the body will step up, and I knew mine would. I had a really bad virus as well, and that gave me some post-virus fatigue. And I think I remember saying to you, Eddie, that I was texting you guys, and I was like, I just felt really tired. I was so tired. I did like a local 4-mile run around mine, and I got to the end and I was like it's like, oh my God, this is not going to go well.
Did you have any wiggle room then, Trish? I know we were talking about the illness, but obviously weather can come into play.
The date's pretty set because it's family, people booking time off work, time before Christmas. Like it's really, that was the only time that actually fitted. So even if there was a named storm, it was highly likely I was going to go.
What was the weather like?
First day was amazing, really, really good. Up until I got to coming over the Glidders to Penny Pass, I could see as I was coming down into Penny Pass, the weather kind of changing and kind of coming in, and then it started raining and the wind picked up, and I got to the car park, and Shane was going to make the decision for me on crib, and I 100% trust whatever he would say, but I kind of got there expecting him to say it's a bit iffy, but but because the weather had changed so quickly, we'd gone from like in the 20 minutes that it had taken me to get to the car park from the top, him and Zoe was like, oh yeah, it's great, yeah, the sun's out, it's lovely. and then he'd basically gone for a run. So
he did send that selfie of him out running, and I was like, I thought, no, Shane, run crib country.
I got there, and Zoe was like, yeah. So Shane says it's all right, but like, yeah, it's he's gone for a run. So so I was like, and so she was like, you're just gonna have to call it when you get up there, mate. And I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Guys, that's fine.
Was there anybody else there, Trish? Was there anybody else on the crib go?
So I actually I met 4 people. In fact, I met 4 people on the way up who were coming down because it was quite wet and they didn't want to go.
Oh no, I was going to say, they've come across and they're like, it's fine. They were coming down because they didn't want to do it.
And they were like, came down because they were like, it was quite wet and it's a bit windy. And I was like,
Oh no, don't tell me, guys. Don't tell me that.
And then I passed 2 people on the way up, and one of them was like, yeah, it's the weather's quite wet. I didn't realise it was going to be this wet. And I was like, yep, you too, mate. And he's like, where are you going? I didn't want to say Cardiff.
I wish you had.
I was like, just over there.
I've not got the energy for that discussion that we're taking.
But also, like, when it was really claggy again, like the mist comes in, you can't see anything. I was like, wasting so much time going across because I couldn't even see.
Were you
and also,
scared?
Yeah. Actually, I'd say I definitely do get fear going over crib, because I do get quite bad vertigo now because I've got like an ear issue. It actually makes me quite dizzy, so I have to really like focus in on what I'm doing. That and like my 5 points of contact, trying to get across.
Would the clouds and the clag probably help with that? Because the day on when we did it the first time anyway, it was just glorious. You could see for miles and miles.
To be honest, I definitely preferred it with the clag up because it was wet and a bit windy, but it was okay. It was fine. I was just being a drama queen. And I think Shane and Zoe knew that. So they're like...
You said you saw some people on that section. I'm curious though, when I've been to the lakes and in the middle of the night, I'll be on some high fell, and there'll always be some random out there. Maybe they're running, they're bivvying down. Did you see any people out on the trails in the middle of the night?
Other the first day, I didn't see anyone.
Wow.
Anyone. Not a soul.
You kept saying, I'm going to Cardiff. Anybody.
Even over the Brecons, no one. No one.
Oh my goodness me.
Not one.
So over the whole of the 100 whatever hours, how much of that time then do you think you're on your own?
I don't know how much time I was spending at the van. Day 1 and day 2, I think I was pretty sharp. In terms of day 1, definitely really sharp with turnaround. I didn't spend, I would say, any longer than 5 minutes at the van. As the fatigue creeps in, but also the first night I was quite nauseous and I stopped eating. That became a problem because I stopped eating on the hill, and that kind of came into effect quite early. So I then was kind of using the van stops as and Zoe and Jan were really good at picking up on that. And, and I'd be like, I remember coming in, what was it, after Kidir maybe. And I was like, I want to turn around quick and get out. And Zoe was like, nah, you're not, mate, unless you eat. Like, you're going to have some food first. Good egg, her and Jan, and her and Jan were really on top of it in terms of making sure that I was trying to get something in. Yeah, like that fell apart quite quickly, my eating on the hill. And I've thought in retrospect as to like why that happened. And I do think maybe it was just because the concentration was so intense.
Your focus, your adrenaline is like slightly taking over your nervous system as well. And so the gut is like, it almost forgets. And so you don't feel hungry and you're just like on the hyper, the cortisol is coursing. Yeah. And it just blunts that feeling. And then and then you don't eat, and it's then a spiral. But
yeah, I definitely think there's an element of that because the navigation is so intense.
Intense. I just can't get my head around how you manage to nav over terrain like on a clear day that is like you constantly have to be like, and you go one little bit wrong and you're like, I get dingers, I glitters, I gotta go back again. Talk me through where the van met you, and the crew situation. So did you use like the where the camp and the sort of like half day camp locations are? Because I presume those are just the road points. There's not that many points, and so
there aren't that many points. So like my first sleep was at the day 2 support point. So
how many hours in was your first sleep?
I think I came into that at around 5 in the morning, something like that. And
second night or first night then?
First night. So I decided I was going to sleep for 90 minutes each night. 90 minutes, like I've done quite a lot of sleep research, and I've done sleep exhaustion stuff.
I'm fascinated by this, Trish, because that's the puzzle.
Gary has got the sleep.
I've got my pen ready. Why?
So frightened about sleep deprivation.
Why 90 minutes? This is great.
So 90 minutes is good for REM. It's a really good like REMs. You get a decent REM cycle, but also 90 minutes when you're doing this kind of long distance endurance running, it's not enough for the body to swell, and that's really, really key, because if you sleep longer than that, you inevitably, like we all know, it's like you end up getting that swelling, and the body basically is able to kind of get back up and get at it quicker. You are getting that REM, which is really important. And I decided that was really important quite early on, because I was on the hill on my own. And I needed to make good decisions.
You're a mum. You've got to make good decisions.
Yeah, I needed to make good decisions, and I needed to be able to look after myself if things got bad. Because the reality is, for example, I had quite a rough time on Kadir. If I'd have like broken my ankle or something like that, there was a very high possibility I could have, because I went over on my ankle, the bad ankle again. Got blown off into jagged rock. But let's say that had just gone slightly wrong, and I'd broken my ankle, like mountain rescue aren't going up there anytime soon. Like they're not rushing to get up there, because it's dangerous. Like it's in the middle of the night, it's windy, it's wet.
You're an idiot. They'd be like, what?
Yeah,
they never judge you, Eddie. They never judge you.
They bet they are. If someone's out there in December, they're like, over the Christmas carols, had a few mince pies, they're on the Baileys. Who the hell? Shane would be like, no, she's a good one, she's fine. She is an influencer, but like in a good way.
Yeah, you might make the news, Trish, with that one. Incredible.
Man, like world's worst influencer. Like it is a bit dangerous. So you've got to. Yeah, I decided 90 minutes was a smart idea to stay on top of it. And the key difference, I think, in winter is that you're constantly fighting. You're constantly fighting. You're fighting the terrain, you're fighting the mud, you're fighting the dark, the wind, the rain, the course, the nav. Like it's constant fighting all the time. There's so many different elements, just the ability to move fast. You can't move fast over bog. Yeah. You'll sink you'll sink in sometimes to your knees. So like every step is a massive undertaking. Like, and you'll do that for like a mile. And like trying to stay positive and focused and like, this is fine. I'm having the best day ever.
What is your self-talk like, Trish?
It's funny because to be honest, there's nothing in my head, Gary. Like I'd like to say there's all these inspirational quotes, but I tend to go to humor. And I think the other thing as well is like when I make a mistake, you acknowledge the mistake and you move on. Like I don't spend any time going over mistakes because it's just wasted energy. The easiest way to describe it would just be I just switch parts of my brain off. I honestly, that's what it's like. I just like
that's
switch
such a talent,
off.
Trish. That is such a talent. Can you do that like day to day, or is it something that you only tap into?
So I've been able to do it before in like quite like crisis situations, and I just think I'm very good at doing that. Like I literally just turn it off, so there's no emotion, there's nothing, just incredible like task focused.
White noise.
Yeah, just nothing. And it's really it's a bit weird, to be honest. Almost like
it's a superpower. It's
like,
a superpower.
like
I just think it's a part of your toolbox. You know, some people are really strong at climbing up hills, but then some people, like, the chatter in their head is deafening and can undo. We talk about quite often with the ultra races that it's like a mind game.
And I think also I do just have this, like, I have this real rock solid, like, I never deviate from I can do it. I never deviate from that. I'm 100% all in. Like, you have to be, if you're like, you're going to do something like this, you have to be invested in it. And if you aren't invested, like, that's where it falls apart. You know, I was 100% invested. Like, I was going to get to Cardiff, you know, whatever happened. So I basically just told my brain that and just let it get on with it, really.
I love that, because I've not seen that side of you. Like, I didn't know you when you did the spine and when you did the 3 peaks and stuff. And I've only been out with you on, like, jollies where we've been the bad people and messed around and climbed up stuff and done stuff. So I've not so I've not seen that side of you. And then seeing it, just like catching glimpses of it on videos and stuff. Like, the minute I saw you, incredible legs, Trish, in the leggings, very high. Like, I think you'd actually done it on purpose. You had, like, incredible. Trish has got these most incredible, the longest legs, and then she had like almost like a little crop top on that just made them look even longer as well. But anyway, you were so you were focused. Like, there was no, and I love that. And I think a lot of us could draw on that as well. Of, like, even if we don't feel like, when you're saying that, I'm like, this is so not Eddie, but I could draw on that to create that. It's not something that, even if we don't feel we have now, we can work on that and be like, I'm 100% going to practice being in this, and that chatter not bit like, it's just energy wasting. It is no good for it. And just seeing you, like, totally, you come in, you're focused, but you're still laughing. So you're not like, I'm so, you know, I can't speak because I'm very serious athlete, you know. You are still, like, there. You're still Trish, but you're just on that line. You're following your arrow completely. And that was so inspirational to see that, Trish. I loved that side of you. I'm going to try and recreate that side of you next time we're running, going, Trish, show me the good side.
I often say to athletes, like, don't think, do. Don't think, do. Like, the moment that's kind of starts going on in your head, that you need to stop it. Don't think, just do it. Focus on the task. But also, I do think, like, humor is so important, so important, and the ability to laugh at yourself and laugh at your mistakes. These things to us, like, they're everything, are so important. Doing this FKT was so important to me. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that important, is it? Like, it's, you know, so
sun will rise, the sun will set, and everybody moves on, sadly.
Exactly. So it's really important to be able to laugh at yourself, laugh at mistakes, and just accept what's going on is what's going on, and, you know, make the best of that.
Did you think at any point, I'm calling this in, I'm going to have to tell Goss I did not done this?
I'm going to have to tell Goss that walking holidays are off. There were 2 occasions which were really sketchy. So the first and second night, and they were, like, the first night was really windy, and that was going from the dam over to day 2 support point. That was super windy, super claggy. I took slightly wrong line, ended up on the other side of a rocky outcrop, and I knew roughly where I was, but I wasn't sure because I couldn't see anything. You know, you come up and you're against, like, this rocky face, so I kind of stood there for what felt like ages, but was probably like 20 seconds, because I do tend to make decisions quite quickly, and I was like, I either follow this trod round and hope that it joins back up again. To be honest, it didn't look like it was gonna, because it was descending, or I go back the way I've come and I still might not find the line that I want to take, or I just go straight over, like I just climb over. It was really windy, it was like rain as well, and I decided I'd just go straight over.
Yeah, you did. I was like, which one did she choose? I bet she just went, oh, it's just
straight over.
Yeah.
And that was sketchy. Like, I knew that was quite risky, but again, it's like calculated risk. What do you think you're comfortable with? That was on the edge. I would think that was slightly beyond type 2 fun, because I was like, right, you really need to dial in now, because you are climbing. And if you mess up here, like, you're screwed. That was really rough. And then on Kadir, I got battered on Kadir. It was really gusty up there, super gusty. Couldn't see anything at all. Like, completely. I got to the top. got to the trig, and I literally like fell over on it because it's surrounded by jagged rocks up there. So I was actually surprised when I literally fell into it. I was like, oh, it's there. And then I got blown off the top. It was blowing so hard.
How fast were the gusts then, Trish?
I don't know. I don't.
At least 100, Trish. Let's just go with that.
But I said to Shane afterwards, there's a bit of a joke where, because I obviously I'm quite light, so gusts to me, like a 30-mile gust would blow me away.
Well, 50 and above's pretty sketchy.
Yeah, I think it was around 50. Shane was like, it was only 30.
Shut up, Shane.
I think the weather had it down as 50, but the day before, leading up to it, the weather had it down as the gusts being 80, and I was like, oof. So it definitely felt 50 plus to me up there.
Did it give you a bit of solace that you knew people were tracking you? You were like, I know every time I stop that people are watching my dot and the sleeping bed, and I'll get moving? Or is focus Trish not even thinking that?
Wasn't even thinking that.
Because I remember waking up and you were on top of Kadir.
Yeah,
for quite a long time, and there's a rocky outcrop, and you stopped, and I was like, what is she doing? What is she doing up to move off the top?
I was getting all my emergency kit out, mate, because I was nearly hypothermic.
There's only one reason she stopped up there. It's horrendous, and she's putting on everything she owns, including a spare pants.
Exactly.
She's just oh man.
I'd just gone over on my ankle. I was howling because I was like, and I was like, you get that acute pain. I was like, if it's gone, I'm really stuffed. So I was like, I've got to move straight away. Otherwise, because otherwise it's going to seize up. And I was like, I've got to keep moving. Managed to get to that little shelter bit just at the top. Got in there, hunkered down. I was properly gibbering. Got all my kit out. Got all that on. I was like, right, okay, I just need to get off now. So I was like, right, let's go. Blown off again.
Even though that is the worst point, but it also is the best point, because do you ever feel more alive when you're facing jeopardy in everybody else is asleep? They're all Eddie's just tucked up with her ear pods in, listening, just checking that's you put yourself in that situation, but what an awesome situation as well to be in, and just be like, this is living. This is living.
It's living, and I think it's that taking it quite close to the line.
We don't encourage that on tea and trails. Know your line.
Well, you think about your team though, Trish. Literally, I probably couldn't think of a better bunch of people to support somebody on a Dragon's Back race. So that would give you an enormous level of confidence.
I mean, the team were phenomenal. They were phenomenal. And I couldn't have had a better, more experienced, more competent, more able crew. Every single one of them have done Dragon's Back. Every single one of them has a ton of experience on that course, have done multiple races like this. I mean, I couldn't have had a better crew. And also, they all knew me exceptionally well, my best mates. So I couldn't have had a better, more able crew in my corner. And I'm so grateful for that, to have people like that around me and to be able to, call on them. I'm incredibly fortunate.
Because you're a ledge.
That's past.
No, don't.
What do you like running through the night? I kind of wasn't sure if I should ask this, because it seems like you'd be really comfortable with it, all those hours you spend, but you send yourself over Cribgoch with vertigo. So, and it is a limiting factor for a lot of athletes to do these runs through the night. But yeah, are you comfortable all that time when you're on in the dark?
I think particularly for women, that is the biggest factor. And when I've spoken to people about, doing that, the number one thing that women say is, I could never do that in the dark. I could never do that in the dark. It is a sad reality. It is quite scary, running in the dark. But I do think it's down to how you frame it. You've got to reframe what you're doing. It's a belief in your competence as well, that you can get out of these situations and that you can cope with them. But it is a massive limiting factor, I would say, predominantly for women, that they aren't comfortable running in the dark. And I totally get that. There was a time. There was a point where on the last night I got to the van, but I'm going to tell this story. But Robin and Shane were asleep. And I got, you know, when you come down to the road, you do that really horrific bit at the end of day 5. You come down that really horrific
That
hill.
really steep bit.
Steep, muddy. I mean, it's steep, muddy, miserable in summer, right? You know, before you hit the road, Gary.
Yeah, I think I was with Andrew that day. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd dropped me by then.
Your feet were hanging off, Trish, to be fair.
But like that bit is miserable, isn't it? In the summer, it's terrible. Like in winter, oh my goodness, it was like wading through a muddy school with like trees, and it was just horrific. Anyway, I got to the end of there, and like I was like, oh, that's Robin and Shane's van, I'm sure. So I knocked on the van. I was like, let me in. Nothing. And then all of a sudden I heard this, hello? And I was like, oh no, this can't be their van. This can't be their van, right? This must be someone else. Because they wouldn't say hello. They would just get up and open the van, right? Because they knew it would be me. And they wouldn't be asleep. Why would they be asleep? And so all this is going on in my head. And I'm like, I've just Blair Witch Project, some poor soul in a van, you know. So I was like, I've got to leave. I've got to go. So I took off down the road. About half a mile down the road, I hear this, wait.
Hilarious.
Wait, Jack,
come back. I'm like, who is this? And I switched my head-torch off because I'm like, sometimes you do get dodgy people around there. And this person comes up to me and I'm like, I'm all ready to throat punch. I'm like, he is getting some. Turn the light off, you know, so I can duck and dive.
This is day 5, Trish. I'd love to see you duck and diving.
Completely off my face. And I'm like, who are you? And he's like, it's Shane. And I'm just so confused. I'm so confused. Anyway, they were asleep, bless them.
Did they bring their van? They didn't say you've got to come back to the van.
I had to walk back up. The thing is, everyone was so tired. I mean, like, to be fair,
you were just like, just take me, whatever.
I just want my sausages. Maybe like 30 minutes sleep. You know, they were totally exhausted. Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I mean, I was like ready for windmilling. You know, I was all in.
I wish you'd throat punch Shane. That would make a great.
What an anecdote that would be.
I was like, oh, I've got any food. And they were like, no. I was like, have you got any tea? They're like, no. So I just go to sleep.
I'll go to sleep. To be fair, weren't you asleep when Shane ran past on the Arc 100?
Yeah, so that's
it's full circle.
It's
full circle, man.
100% full circle. It's worse, actually. We weren't even asleep. We were having tea and biscuits.
And you'd eaten his snacks, and he said, "Can I have those biscuits?"
And, like, Shane's face basically was on the window like this, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Hello.
I mean, the key factor here is Robin, bad influence.
Straight under a bus.
Trish, any standout bits of kit? Your hat game was so strong throughout this. You're sort of like, you had a hood and then you put your hat on, still looking sensational. I was crushing on you, big style. You had like an arm or something. You just looked fantastic.
I think you do need solid, like a proper solid Gore-Tex. So I'm a big fan of like a proper mountain jacket. The kind of thinner jackets, like they're just not going to cut the mustard when you're moving. Yeah, having a good proper Gore-Tex jacket, and I think good proper like waterproofs, waterproof socks, 100%.
Did you go knee or did you just go ankle?
Knee all the way. Yeah. I actually wore quite a lot of Goz's socks, because that's not minging, sharing socks.
We didn't share pants. Yeah. 5 layers, Trish, most nights.
So what did I have? One base, mid layer. So actually I tended to have a base, a mid layer, and then a jacket on top. That kind of worked okay. Sometimes another layer, like a t-shirt on top as well. I was moving consistently. That's the thing. I was good at moving consistently. So that was fine. But if the moment I stopped, I got so cold. Like I remember I'd get into the van, and then, leaving the van was always the hardest part because I was so cold, so cold. You're just trying to get moving again, and the body takes a bit of time to move again, and that was really hard.
You set off though, and you're happy, like most people's running pace. You're happy. You would move off, and you didn't look like stiff Tim Man. You looked.
Yeah, I was very, again, I'm just kind of focused on like, as long as you start moving, and then you can. That's the key thing. You don't have to run off.
Don't think.
I would always just start start moving, and then like after 5 minutes, then I'd get a bit of a shuffle on.
I think people do that wrong, is they leave the check, because also you create heat really quickly as well then. And I think it's better. And Gary, this is a good tip for Northern Traverse, because you'll be so, you saw me leave Lord Stones. You'll be so stiff when you've sat down, your feet are sore. Give yourself like 5-10 minutes. And also mentally, it's good to go, I'm just walking. I'm just going to walk into this. And you feel so, and within 5-10 minutes, you'll get bored and you'll be like, actually, I'm warm enough now. And it's a lot less painful than getting straight into a shuffle. Trish, what was your trainer choice? Because that terrain is, what did you change? What are we looking at?
So I made a very last minute decision actually, and bought a pair of Innovates about 2 weeks before. In fact, it was after we did that. I did that recce with Robin and Zoe and Lisa and Goz. Robin had these shoes on, these Innovates.
So you'd had no experience of these shoes other than the fact that Robin had used.
just watch Robin. I was like, sold. So if you're listening, Innovate, Robin, poster girl, 100%.
100%. After you, Robin's shoes, your legs.
I got them, so I can't even remember what they're called, because I'm rubbish with shoes. I don't care. I used these shoes and I pretty much wore them right up until the last day. I just wore those shoes. Because
great grip, I imagine.
The combo worked so well with the socks, like the waterproof socks and those shoes. It was phenomenal. Like I didn't have any blisters. I didn't have any issues at all.
Trish, you were playing with fire. Having not done anything in these. I love that, because that's unlike you.
I did a few runs. I did do some like long, I did a long run. I did like an 8-9 mile run. But also I think don't you? Like you've got enough experience to like know if something's gonna run. And I did a last week's worth of training in them. That was okay. So I was like, yeah, they'll do. And they did really well. I was really pleased with them. Don't know where they are now.
Up. We'll tag them in.
Probably still in the airing cupboard somewhere now.
Probably best, if you are looking for a bit of support, is to find the name of the trainer. Would be quite handy. Just
I'm such a rubbish influencer, am I? Like
you don't need to know the name. Why? That's just like what we're told. You don't need to know the name. They were, they were good. Robin
Inaves.
Emotions coming into Cardiff, Trish. You know very well it's quite a long run into Cardiff. What was that like? I bet it was wild.
The last day was really nice in terms of weather. So it did rain in the morning, but then it did clear up. So that whole day, it's a short distance, isn't it? You always think it's a short distance, but it doesn't feel short. That's it. And it's a lot of pavement as well. I just remember, so the first bit before you kind of get into Merthyr, and it's just like, it's basically like a rally. It's the only way I can describe it. It's like, it might be because I was slightly like fatigued and delirious at the time, but it was really wet, and it's like this mud fest, and where all the obviously loads of cars had been like rally driving and stuff, and there was like bits of car everywhere.
Yeah, I think maybe you're a bit tired, Trish.
I was like, what is going on here? I'm so confused. But genuinely, there was bits of car everywhere. It was like really weird. But yeah, it's a long run into Cardiff. And oh my goodness, this is like the diversions. I had so many diversions where they were like doing stuff to the path or whatever. So I had to like make up my own diversions round. I got to one street and it's like this police cordon and this like police officers, and I'm come up to the cordon. I'm like, I need to go up this street, and this police officer, she's like, you can't. There's been like 2 murders, like on the road. And I was like,
it's fine. I've seen it all before. It's fine.
Like you'll have to go like around. And I looked at it and I was like, it's a mile diversion. I can't do that. And that's the first time I was like, I've come from Cardiff.
Oh, good. You've got it
I've come from Cardiff.
It's a crime scene, Trish.
That's what she said.
A crime scene.
Crime scene. The DC.
I loved the fact that you thought she might lift the barrier and say,
"Oh, I'm not finished, Eddie. I'm not finished." She's like, it's a crime scene. The I don't know, the CSI haven't even got here yet. And I was like, she's like, there's been 2 murders. Like there'll be another if I don't have to go that diversion. There's 2 dead bodies there. I was like, well, there's going to be another. I've come from Cardiff. And I must have been such an absolute state of desperation. She basically let me through. I mean, it was only like
What?
50 meters, and I stayed on the right. She's like, stay to the right hand side. So
What a
I hope that nobody
legend.
is listening to this right now. I mean, come on, she did me a solid, so no reporting, no dog.
So, yeah, but Trish, imagine they find your hair at the murder scene.
Oh, mate, there's
And
bloody bits of me everywhere.
bits of your body, skin,
yeah.
like a lace or something. So you spat something probably as you went past, and they're like, the only person we can pin down at this site. We've actually got her tracker, and she was passing this site at the scene.
I was moving so quickly, Eddie. I doubt I left. Doubt they even saw me. Straight through there.
That is the
Crawled through like a slug through the sea.
Just have a moment and bless the poor people that.
Yeah, I know, eh? But totally
lives were
random.
lost. I didn't know Cardiff was such a rough place.
It was rough. Yeah, well, that was the only other bit that was
No
rough.
accents, Eddie. My goodness me, no accents.
That's my good. Well, I've got Welsh blood running through my veins. I tell you,
You're allowed.
It's
You're allowed.
absolutely fine.
But running through the castle bit, like they had this, I don't know, some kind of Christmas do, on. So I had to go like another diversion. And but running in and like touching the castle was just amazing. I really felt like I got what I wanted out of it. It felt like the race that I wanted.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. That was one of my questions. How did you feel? Did it satisfy you? Then I suppose a few weeks later, has that changed?
I was really satisfied with it. Like I had such a blast. Like I definitely got what I wanted out of it. It was physically so exhausting. It was so hard mentally. It's definitely the hardest thing I've done. Like mentally, the isolation, coping with the problems on the hill, being able to do that. And I think also just the fact that have a woman set that FKT was really important to me as well. In a world where like there's so many firsts are men, it's nice that actually that winter FKT has been set by a woman. And actually when you look at like the National Three Peaks, that record was first set by a woman as well. And I hope that kind of encourages lots of other people to go out and lots of women in particular to go out and have a crack and try. And if they fail, it doesn't matter, but at least have a try.
I don't ask, but I do need to know because I don't think I even know. What have you got plans for 2026? Oh, I do know. Oh, it's like, my God, I didn't know. This is terrible.
Well, it's changed. It's changed, Eddie. I think I've got another plan now.
Oh, do you want to?
In the last few days, oh my God, I'm so excited.
This is a dangerous game to play. No big decisions.
It's so dangerous.
Who is involved in this plan? I will need to speak to them instantly.
Well, I've only decided to do it yesterday. In the last like 48 hours, because I've been bouncing around. I've had I was thinking I might do something with the paddy, and then I was like, I'll do National Three Peaks, but this has completely consumed me, this new idea. I'm so excited by it. I need to
breathe it a bit. Let it breathe a bit.
Yeah, and I also kind of want it to just be mine for a little bit,
Yeah, totally.
I'll tell you after.
Was it a Bailey's decision, Trish? Was it a Bailey's decision?
Yeah, I'll do that. It'd be fantastic.
We're going to see you at the 13 Valleys, aren't we?
Is it the 13 Valleys? I keep getting confused at which one I'm doing.
Well, I don't know which one you do.
It's over 100 miles.
Oh, yes, 13 Valleys. Oh, what a blast. It's great.
It's like 106, maybe?
15? I don't know.
115?
Yeah, something like that. I'll check my Strava.
Is that in September?
Yeah, end of September. You love it. 2 nights. What a treat.
2 nights, yeah.
Have you been for a run yet?
Oh, if you include a junior park run.
I totally do.
Well, I
get absolutely smashed at it.
Crushed those kids' souls.
Could you keep up? I can't keep up.
I've had to become cheerleader. I ran with one of my kids, so one's a bit faster than the other, and
I do make that selective choice.
I ran with the slower one. Who then decided to put a kick in the last 300 meters. And I was like, But yeah, like I felt all right. I'm going to do New Year's Day park run, and then I'm going to go skiing. And then I'm going to start training again. Get back in. But okay. I'm just kind of quite chilled about it at the moment. I am cognizant that I do want to give my body a rest.
Absolutely.
It's a mammoth effort, and not just physically, but mentally, making something like that work mentally. It's not just even the FKT itself, it's all of the stuff around that and the impact it has on your family and, the wider piece. Like, it's a lot to kind of take on. I am just going to have a decent chill period in January and, hopefully get some adventures in.
Were the kids impressed when you arrived back home?
Oh, for like 5 minutes, yeah. What kids are like. I mean, to be fair as well, it's like their norm. They don't know any different, do they? They just think that's normal. Like if I'm like, oh, I ran from Cardiff to Conway, and it's the equivalent to them of saying I did park run.
Absolutely.
They just think that's normal. Just like,
But
isn't that great? Isn't that great, Trish? They think that's normal. People can just go out and do these wild things. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really cool. But I would like some kudos from them.
Keep on waiting.
Should we do the quick five?
Yes. Are you going to read any of mine?
Yes.
That sounded like a no to me, Eddie.
I know.
No, I'll do them because they're more interesting than my questions.
I'll do them because you're there as a woman.
That's not what I said. Can't be running, Trish. How would you pass the time of day on a day off?
A whole day.
A whole day.
Free. No kids,
Baileys.
no dog.
Read a book, cook a nice meal, chill with friends. Book-wise, it would have to be some kind of like tough expedition. If I was going to give a book title, I would say something like The Shackleton Expedition, Endurance, or something like that. It's fantastic. And I would cook dauphinoise potatoes with steak. And
when you go skiing, that last half kilogram is going to go.
Oh, yeah.
A fun fact that somebody might not know about Trish Patterson. Have you got a secret talent?
I can juggle. That's one. I've got a funny one.
That's a
I can
good
do
talent.
the worm. I can do the worm on the dance floor.
Oh my goodness.
I can do a good worm, Trish. Let's recreate that.
We'll have a
Let's
worm
have a
off.
worm off.
You should have wormed into Cardiff. What a finish that would have been. Oh, do you have a phobia?
No, I don't actually. Oh, actually, I'm not really a fan of bears, like snarling bears. They're a bit like...
Have you ever come face to face with a snarling bear?
Growling bear.
I did get followed by a bear in Canada once, not on my own, I was with a group, but we were followed by a bear, and the Canadians are really funny because they not really funny, but they're because they're so like chilled and lovely about everything, aren't they? We've been followed by this bear, and they were like, the guide was like, remember guys, you just say whoa bear. I'm like, whoa, whoa bear, are you
Whoa,
nuts?
bear.
Whoa bear. And they do, they're like, whoa bear, I'm here bear, whoa bear. I'm like,
pancakes,
there, mate.
maple syrup. I'm a good person.
Yeah, they're I love the Canadians. They're so relaxed, so chilled.
If running were an Olympic event with costumes allowed, what would you wear?
Dinosaur, 100%, 100% dinosaur. I mean, it's just cool.
Imagine that, 100 meters, best costume, and you win an Olympic gold medal.
Arms,
Little arms, I love it.
little arms. It's just funny on its own, isn't it? I mean, imagine doing that kind of distance in a T-Rex costume. How that would be hard, wouldn't it?
God.
In the bog, with your little arms.
I'm just changing this next one. I'm just adding a bit more detail. Right, there we go.
Would you rather run a 100-mile race with clown shoes or a giant foam finger on your hand? Oh, I'd go foam finger. Boom.
Finger, 100%. I'm like, yeah.
Now, think carefully. You can't
Finger.
take that foam finger off.
Oh, the nutrition.
Whole way.
Have to pick your nose from a distance, go.
Okay. It really so, and you've got to constantly give it some.
Yeah, you just slap people with that finger as well, couldn't you? Like, give me my food.
Get off the trail. Just send them into the...
Yeah.
Is it Rhino? I wonder how far Rhino Boy Chris has ran. His longest distance he's done in the Rhino suit, talking about fancy dress.
Oh, he would win that, wouldn't he? He'd just enter the Olympics and go, I've got my costume, and then smash
Nailed it.
Trish's dino suit.
Yeah. I feel like that's a challenge. That feels like a good challenge, doesn't it?
Yeah, is that what you're thinking when you're having a Baileys and with a costume-themed SKT as a dinosaur?
Just add into
Innovate,
this
going to
next
get
challenge.
behind that. Just your little innovates out the bottom.
Instagram story music time, Trish. Every week we share the podcast over on Instagram and you get to choose the music we put to our post and story. What's it going to be?
Maniac on the floor.
I don't even need to ask why that.
Yeah.
Is that from Top Gun? Is it Top Gun soundtrack?
Is it Flash Dance? I mean, that's quite
Flash Dance.
Flash Dance, Maniac on the Floor.
Classic.
Would you worm to that? I definitely think you could.
No, that's a hair flicking to that.
Oh, some good hair flicking for the head. Oh, Trish, thank you. I've just loved the last hour and a bit of just living a little bit of that journey. I know it's so hard to recreate. Like, you can tell little stories and we can like imagine you there, but there's absolutely no way we can imagine what that was like, what you went through. So thank you for just sharing a little bit on it, a little bit of your story. We thought you were great before. We've said this every podcast. I get a bit bored of it myself, but you've reached new echelons of incredibleness now, not just to us, but to everybody listening. I absolutely am 100% sure that many, especially women, will be listening thinking, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take
in a dinosaur costume.
I'm doing a dinosaur costume with clown feet and a foam finger, and I'm going to show. But not just your focus that it took, but also that the humour that you bring. That yes, we need to be. You want to do something like this, you take it super seriously, and you're 100% laser focused. But at the same time, you're finding the fun in it and bringing the joy to all of us that followed along on the journey as well. You are just brilliant. Can't wait to hear about what the next adventure is. But as you said, feet up, go skiing, another couple of weeks.
I'm sure you'll champion this, though, Trish. It doesn't have to be whatever kilometres, thousands of feet of elevation, whatever the challenge is. Yeah, just don't be scared.
Yeah, I say this to my kids as well. Like, it's okay to be scared about stuff. Like, it's hard, right? But you can't be brave without being scared. So you have to have one before the other, and it doesn't matter what it is. Just there's going to be a bit of fear there, but taking that step, take that next step. The first step is always the hardest, and just have a go. You've got nothing to lose.